This is 1 week after we got married. Nevertheless, it didn't take long. He got a job offer to North Dakota, USA. And ever since then, it's been a living hell. Thomas doesn't want to go to North Dakota because North Dakota isn't exactly the state you want to move to as a gay person. And our marriage over there is completely illegal or won't work. Invalid. Thomas got the job offer. It's called the PPP, the Personnel Placement Program. For the 5-year rule, they get a job offer from the PPP. He accepted the job offer from the PPP. Well, actually, no, he didn't accept the offer from PPP, but he got the same offer from the management redirection. He accepted the offers from the management redirection and got his orders to leave Germany, even though it was a long story to try to explain the situation that he can't move because his spouse isn't American and his spouse can't stay there. He was told by the commissary in Dallas that they're not going to take his case into consideration because they don't want to set precedents for other people in the same situation. Another person that works with DECA said that he should have thought first before he married an LN. Nevertheless, he accepted the job offer because the money has to come from somewhere. He got his orders to move to North Dakota, and he was sick. In the meanwhile, he got sick. He's still under doctor's care, and he got his orders, and the orders were recalled. Thomas asked me, well, what does this mean? I told Thomas bluntly, you're fired. You're fired. That's exactly what happened. And 2 months later, Thomas was actually fired by his store director's private APO address. Every other piece of paper comes from DECA or from Dallas itself. The actual letter of removal came from Thomas's store director's private APO address. And, well, now he's unemployed. The reasoning behind this was because he did not take the job offer from the PPP. With no word do they mention that he actually took the exact same job offer from the management redirection. That seems to be forgotten in this whole situation. Thomas has had problems with DECA ever since the day we were married. The messed up part about it is we were married in March. In May, my boss actually threatened me, and I was out sick for 4 weeks because I was afraid to go back to work. He told me I need to watch my back, and I need to watch out, and I need to be afraid. And no one actually put this together. And recently, actually just 2 days ago, they've been seen together before, Thomas's store director and mine. Thomas's store director was, by the way, a very good customer at our facility. He came there every Wednesday. Every time he comes there now on a Wednesday, if he sees me there, he acts like he wasn't on his way there. But you can tell he's just moving on. And 2 days ago, from 13:15 to 13:35, our managers were seen together. And the day after, I don't know if you care, but the day after, I was actually called into the office. They had the LN technician in the office. Our LN technician, that's what I worked for when I first met Thomas, and he gave me hell back then, so he's never liked me. And he got fired from Ponds and got barred from Post. Then he opened his own, what do you call that in the States? He opened his own temp agency, so because the unemployment rate in Germany is so high, he opened his own temp agency and actually gave people looking for jobs on Post. Suddenly, he was the LN technician for 80s, which is odd because you have someone giving people jobs, and the same person suddenly works at the Human Resources Office for AFIES giving people jobs. Odd. The type of harassment I've been receiving on the job is like I have been working for AFIES for 8 going on 9 years now. I've worked at Subway for 7 years, and up until I ended up at Popeyes, I had my facility under control. I mean, if something happened, it was on me, even though I was only a supervisor. Then suddenly I get stuffed into the one place I never wanted to be, which was the food court or Popeye's Chicken. That was like one of the worst places I could ever be at. The now food court manager promised me with my old manager that I had nothing to worry about. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got your back. You don't have to go Popeyes. Well, I ended up at Popeyes. Ever since this whole thing with Thomas has come out as his manager, my manager, they've been seen together more than once, 2 days ago recently, I have been given the feeling that I don't know my job, I have nothing under control, everything I do is wrong, everything that goes wrong is my fault, that I'm responsible for things that I can do nothing about. And back to the whole LN technician thing, I was given a write-up because the midday drawer count was not done. The midday cash count gets done at 15:30 every day. I left work at 1500. The day after that, my boss gave me a communication record about the cash count not being done. And I asked him, well, why am I getting punished for it? I wasn't there. I was only there till 3. The cash count gets done at 15:30. Mr. Chavis, the food court manager, explained to me in some detail that the cash count doesn't have to be done at exactly 1500. It has to be done sometime during the day. And I replied to that, it's not my fault. I was there to prep that day. I had nothing to do with the cash. Why am I the only one getting written up for it? Well, because it needs to be done. The day after that, the actual supervisor that relieved me that day she was there at 14:45, said that she got a write-up because there was an email sent that certain people didn't agree with others getting written up for not doing their job, which was the cash count. And I asked her, I'm like, well, you were there that day. I'm like, why did you get that write-up? The entire story was explained to her by, she was told that the cash count has to be done when one supervisor relieves the other, which would be the first time ever that has happened. There's so much that I have to watch out for, especially it's the closing supervisor that's responsible for everything. Coincidentally, I'm always the closing supervisor. There's more and more crap that gets dumped on me. I'm responsible for everything. I'm responsible for the prep. I'm responsible for things to be thawed in the walk-in. I'm responsible for things to be there the next day. I'm responsible for the cash count. Suddenly, I'm responsible for the scheduling. Meanwhile, we're short people left and right. I sit there in my own time today, 4 hours on my time, that I don't get paid for, that I have to create a schedule for people that aren't there. Before I got married to my husband, I was transferred to Popeyes. I felt like someone that didn't really need to be there. I felt like someone that had no responsibility whatsoever. I made friends with the supervisor that was there at the time. Very good friends, by the way. Suddenly, my friend that had worked at that store and somewhere else, she's in a completely different station. And this person and me, we think it's because they realized what was going on, that she was friends with me, and suddenly she's gone. So not only is she being harassed because she gets put to a different facility, but I'm being harassed or feel harassed for being ripped apart with my friend who was responsible for that store to begin with, and suddenly have all of her responsibilities plus, because now they've really gone crazy, plus more and more and more every day, all on my back. So yeah, the discrimination, the harassment has gotten worse over here, considering the fact that the management is the way they are and that they're all stuck together like glue, and there's nothing Thomas and I can do about it. We're not the ones that can sit here and say, yeah, you're racist, and not only are we white, but we're also gay. That makes it double worse. The idea about their religious beliefs, honestly, beats me what they are. The only thing that I know is that every single one of them are Masons. Every one of us are denied the right to wear a ring, a wedding band, or whatnot at work, but they're allowed to work under circumstances the exact same work that we work. But these certain individuals are allowed to wear their weird little Mason rings during their job. That's odd. That's really odd.
Hello, my name is Coral Waters. I identify as a woman, however,